You've probably heard it all your life. Eat your vegetables, they're good for you. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Some of the most common vegetables on your plate could actually be harming your health after 60. According to studies in the Journal of Gerontology, certain vegetables have been linked to higher inflammation, poor circulation, and even greater fall risk in older adults. And that's no small thing. Falls are now the #1 cause of fatal injury in seniors over 65, CDC. One wrong step, one moment of leg weakness, and everything can change. In this video, I'll show you 3 vegetables that protect your legs, your heart, and your brain, and 3 that may silently be making things worse. Most people have no idea, but by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to add to your plate, and what to leave off. Because at our age, every bite matters. Let's be honest, most of us grew up thinking that all vegetables are good for you. We were told to finish our greens, eat the salad, load our plate with plants. And for the most part, that's still true. But what nobody warned us about is that as we age, our bodies change, and the way certain vegetables affect us changes too. Some of the vegetables that once helped us stay slim and energized in our 30s and 40s, they can quietly cause joint stiffness, bloating, and even blood sugar crashes in our 60s and beyond. And because those symptoms show up slowly, maybe a little more fatigue, a little more itchiness, most people never think to look at their vegetables. I see it all the time with my patients. People who eat healthy, but still feel heavy, inflamed, or just off. And they can't figure out why. But when we start looking closer, not at whether they're eating vegetables, but which ones, it's like turning on a light switch. Take Martha, for example. She's 72. Very active, always loved to cook. She told me her knees had been bothering her more and more. She figured it was just age. But she also mentioned that one of her favorite dishes was eggplant parmesan. Every Friday night. It sounded harmless. But when we cut out the eggplant for just 3 weeks, her stiffness started to ease up. No pills, no new workout, just a change in what was on her plate. You see, eggplant belongs to a group of vegetables called nightshades. That includes tomatoes, bell peppers, and potatoes too. Not all of them are bad, but some contain a compound called solanine, which in sensitive people can trigger joint inflammation, muscle tightness, and digestive issues. Especially if you're already dealing with arthritis, neuropathy, or acid reflux. For Martha, that one food was quietly fueling inflammation in her legs, and nobody ever told her. That's why I made this video. Because it's not just about what to avoid, it's about what to include. And if you're over 60, there are 3 vegetables I recommend to almost every patient, not just because they're healthy, but because they support the parts of your body that matter most right now: your legs, your balance, your brain, and your heart. Let's start with the first one. It's not flashy. In fact, it's probably in your fridge right now. But it might just be one of the most powerful vegetables for aging well, and it's broccoli. Broccoli might not be the most exciting vegetable on the plate, but I'll tell you this, it's one of the smartest choices you can make for your body, especially after 60. You see, broccoli is a bit like an undercover agent for your health. On the surface, it looks simple. But inside? It's packed with nutrients that support your heart, your bones, your immune system, and even your brain. Let's start with the heart. In one study of women over 70, just a quarter cup of broccoli a day was linked to nearly a 46% reduction in something called arterial calcification. That's the hardening of arteries that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. That's not a small number. That's life-changing. Broccoli contains sulforaphane, a natural compound that helps reduce inflammation in the blood vessels, regulate blood pressure, and lower LDL cholesterol. Every bite you take is helping to keep those arteries open and blood flowing freely. And that matters a lot, especially as we age and circulation starts to slow down. Now let's talk about your bones. Broccoli is rich in both calcium and vitamin K. Together, these nutrients help keep your bones strong and reduce the risk of fractures, which is huge. Because one broken hip or fall can set off a chain of decline that's hard to come back from. And the brain? Broccoli contains something called lutein, plus choline and vitamin K, all shown to support memory and focus. In fact, studies show that older adults with higher lutein levels perform better on memory tests. So if you've ever had one of those "where did I put my keys?" moments, broccoli might be your new best friend. Even your immune system benefits. It's got vitamin C to help heal wounds faster and boost iron absorption, and antioxidants to fight the damage caused by stress and aging. The trick is how you cook it. Steaming broccoli lightly, just 5 minutes, preserves most of its nutrients. Overcooking it until it's mushy? That drains the good stuff away. I like to tell patients, treat it gently. A little olive oil, maybe some lemon or garlic. Even a few mustard seeds or sliced radishes can help boost sulforaphane if you're reheating it. If you can get broccoli into your meals 2 or 3 times a week, whether it's tossed in a stir-fry, tucked into an omelet, or roasted on the side, your body will thank you. Quietly, but powerfully. Now, I want to share another vegetable that often gets overlooked, but might be one of the best-kept secrets for strength, circulation, and clarity, especially if you struggle with low energy or dizzy spells. It's spinach. And I've seen it turn lives around. Let's talk about spinach. It doesn't have the flash of kale or the sweetness of carrots, but spinach is one of those quiet powerhouses that works behind the scenes, especially when you're over 60. I like to think of it as your body's natural multivitamin, straight from the earth. One of the biggest reasons I recommend spinach to my older patients is blood flow. Good circulation is what keeps your brain sharp, your legs steady, and your heart strong. And spinach is rich in potassium, magnesium, and something called dietary nitrates. Together, those nutrients help relax your blood vessels and improve how efficiently your blood moves through your body. When your circulation improves, your brain gets more oxygen. Your muscles get more energy. Your balance improves. You stop feeling as dizzy when you stand up or walk across the room. I've had patients who added spinach to their lunch a few times a week and told me they no longer needed to grip the countertop every time they turned around. Spinach is also rich in iron, specifically non-heme iron. That's the kind of iron found in plants. Your body uses it to build hemoglobin, the part of your red blood cells that carries oxygen. But here's a tip: if you're eating spinach for iron, pair it with something acidic, like a squeeze of lemon or a few orange slices. That helps your body absorb it much more effectively. But spinach's benefits don't stop at circulation. It's also a brain booster. It contains lutein and folate, 2 nutrients strongly linked to better memory and cognitive function. One major study found that seniors who ate leafy greens like spinach regularly had brain function equivalent to someone 11 years younger. 11 years. That's the kind of edge we all want as we get older. And it supports your vision, too. Lutein and zeaxanthin, both found in spinach, act as natural filters for your eyes. They protect against macular degeneration and cataracts, which can make a huge difference in how confidently you move through your home, your neighborhood, or your daily errands. Better vision means fewer stumbles, fewer missteps, and more independence. And then there's the impact on blood sugar. Spinach has a blend of magnesium, fiber, and alpha-lipoic acid that helps stabilize glucose levels. That's critical if you're managing diabetes or prediabetes. And let's face it, a lot of folks over 60 are. One of my patients, Gloria, 68, started blending spinach into a smoothie with half a banana and a bit of almond milk every morning. After just 2 weeks, she said she had more energy by mid-afternoon and less fogginess after meals. Her blood pressure came down too. Preparation makes all the difference. Lightly sautéed, blended into a smoothie, tossed with citrus and olive oil, any of those will help unlock its full benefits. Just half a cup cooked, most days of the week, can make a real difference. And finally, let's not forget your digestion. Spinach has insoluble fiber, which helps keep things moving and prevents constipation, a common but often ignored challenge as we age. Now, we've talked about broccoli and spinach, 2 vegetables that quietly defend your heart, brain, bones, and balance. But the third one I want to tell you about does something else entirely. It protects your vision, which, as I always say, is your body's GPS. If you can't see clearly, you can't walk confidently. So next, let's talk about carrots. Now let's talk about carrots. They might seem simple, something you toss into a stew or snack on raw, but carrots are actually one of the most important vegetables for protecting your independence. Why? Because they protect your eyes. As we age, one of the most common and dangerous changes is a slow decline in vision. It doesn't happen all at once. Maybe things get blurrier at night. Maybe you start needing stronger reading glasses. Or maybe, one day, you misjudge a step because you didn't see it clearly. That's where carrots come in. They're loaded with beta-carotene, which your body turns into vitamin A, and that's crucial for maintaining healthy vision, especially in low-light conditions. One long-term study out of Harvard showed that diets high in carotenoids, the family of nutrients found in carrots, cut the risk of age-related macular degeneration by up to 35%. That's not just about eyesight. That's about staying steady on your feet and avoiding dangerous falls in dim lighting or unfamiliar places. But carrots do more than help you see. They're rich in antioxidants that protect your nervous system, especially the delicate communication between your brain and muscles. That connection is what helps you move smoothly, catch your balance, and respond quickly if you trip. Carrots help preserve that steady coordination we all depend on, even if we don't think about it until it starts to slip. They also support your heart and your gut. The fiber in carrots helps sweep away cholesterol and support regular digestion. And unlike white potatoes or sugary snacks, carrots offer natural sweetness without the blood sugar spikes. That means steadier energy and fewer crashes. Even your skin benefits. Vitamin A from carrots supports your immune system and helps maintain healthy, supple skin, which is your body's first line of defense. You don't need a mountain of them. 1 carrot a day, raw, roasted, or steamed with a drizzle of olive oil, can do a lot more than you'd think. It's an easy habit with a powerful payoff. But now we need to shift gears. Because while these 3 vegetables, broccoli, spinach, and carrots, support your strength, balance, and independence, some vegetables can actually work against you. And I don't say that lightly. Certain vegetables that sound healthy, and might even be served in low-fat meals or classic recipes, can quietly stir up inflammation, spike your blood sugar, or disrupt your digestion. And over time, they can make your legs feel heavier, your joints stiffer, and your energy drain faster. The first one I want to talk about is eggplant. You might love it in a casserole or baked dish, but for many older adults, it's not doing your body any favors. Let's talk about why, and what to eat instead. Let's start with eggplant. I know, it's a classic in many dishes. Grilled, baked, stuffed, you name it. But for many seniors, eggplant can be more of a burden than a benefit. And here's why. Eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, along with tomatoes, peppers, and white potatoes. Now, not all nightshades are bad for everyone. But some, like eggplant, contain a naturally occurring compound called solanine. And for sensitive individuals, especially older adults dealing with arthritis or nerve pain, solanine can quietly fuel inflammation. It doesn't cause a big flare-up like an injury would. Instead, it whispers. A knee that was just a little sore last week is now stiff every morning. Your usual walk feels heavier. Your muscles ache even when you haven't done anything strenuous. And most people never suspect their favorite vegetable is part of the problem. Eggplant also contains oxalates, which can contribute to kidney stone formation, a real concern for anyone with a history of stones. And its spongy texture absorbs oil like a sponge, turning a simple vegetable side into a calorie bomb when fried or sautéed. That's especially risky for anyone watching their weight or managing heart health. So if you've been feeling achy or sluggish after eggplant-heavy meals, it's worth taking a break from it. Give your body a few weeks without it and see how you feel. You might be surprised. Now, let's move on to another sneaky irritant, green bell peppers. They may look harmless, but green peppers are just unripe versions of their red, yellow, or orange siblings. And that unripe state makes them tougher on your digestive system. The skin is harder, the walls are thicker, and the compounds inside are more bitter. Many older adults I've worked with find that green peppers trigger acid reflux, bloating, or just a lingering discomfort after meals. It's not dramatic, but it wears on you, especially when digestion already slows with age. What's more, green peppers are significantly lower in nutrients than their ripened counterparts. They have less vitamin C, less vitamin A, and fewer antioxidants. So you're not just getting discomfort, you're also getting less in return. The fix? Swap green for red or yellow. They're easier on your stomach, gentler on your joints, and they actually taste sweeter, which makes meals more enjoyable, too. Now, the last one might come as a surprise, because it's one of the most common comfort foods out there: white potatoes. But there's a real reason to be cautious here, especially if you're over 60. Now let's talk about white potatoes. They've been a staple on dinner plates for generations. Mashed, baked, fried, they're warm, familiar, and comforting. But as we age, we have to ask ourselves, is this comfort coming at a cost? The truth is, white potatoes, especially types like russet or Yukon Gold, behave more like refined starch than a nutritious vegetable. They're rapidly digested, which means they cause a sharp spike in blood sugar. In fact, a study from Harvard found that a single baked potato can raise blood sugar faster than a can of cola. For older adults, those spikes and crashes aren't just inconvenient. They're dangerous. Over time, they can contribute to insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and even energy crashes that make it harder to stay active. Not to mention the impact on your focus, mood, and sleep. And here's the thing: potatoes don't give much back. Yes, they contain some potassium and a bit of vitamin C, but they're low in fiber and almost entirely lacking in antioxidants. There are no flavonoids, no vitamin A, no long-lasting energy. Just fast-burning starch. Even worse, when white potatoes are stored improperly, especially if they start to turn green or sprout, they can produce solanine, that same compound found in eggplants that irritates joints and digestion. So what's the alternative? Try swapping white potatoes for sweet potatoes, which are packed with fiber, vitamin A, and have a much gentler effect on your blood sugar. Or try cauliflower mash, legumes, or roasted root vegetables for that same warm comfort, but with more nutrition and fewer risks. It's not about never having mashed potatoes again. It's about giving your body the kind of support it needs now, fuel that keeps you energized, stable, and strong. So let's bring it all together. Broccoli, spinach, and carrots, they quietly protect your heart, your bones, your memory, and your balance. They help keep you upright, alert, and able to move through the world with confidence. Eggplant, green peppers, and white potatoes, while once helpful, can now work against your body's needs. Swapping them out might seem like a small step, but it's one that can ripple out into better energy, fewer aches, and more independence. And that's what it's really about. Because when you choose your food wisely, especially after 60, you're not just feeding your body. You're investing in your future. You're protecting your ability to walk without help, to climb stairs, to stay out of the hospital, to live on your own terms. If you find this helpful, give it a thumbs up. If not, type 0 in the comments, but if it helps, let us know by typing 1. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-saving health tips.